We are live on TuneIn and YouTube. Hop in the chat. I want to hear from you. Get on there, comments, anything you saw from the Super Bowl. I'll begin with my reporter's notebook about the Super Bowl. First of all, this year is off to a very bad start. The terrorist attack on innocent people in New Orleans over New Year's, the LA wildfires, the mid-air collision in D.C., the DeepSeek Chinese AI model that tanked our markets. The Super Bowl was our time to come together. And I'm not sure it was much of a kumbaya. Here's my thoughts here. I tuned in about an hour before the game. I didn't stay in for everything. 2:41 p.m. That's Pacific time. First shot of Taylor Swift in the skybox. Didn't see much more after that, frankly. Maybe because Travis Kelce had 2 catches. We'll get into whether or not it's time, should he retire or not. But the women in the room with me, all they could talk about was the next thing that came up, Brad Pitt and his facelift. Apparently, he had a facelift. I thought he looked very good. If he did, it's a very good one. He had great clothes. I'll say that. The man has an outstanding clothier. His wardrobe is always spot on. I got to get me one of those quilted shirts he was wearing. Angelina must be so bitter about the pole position this guy gets. Right? She would never be chosen for that position. There's Brad. She hates him. She's accused him of everything. And there he is being loved by everybody. How about the Lady Gaga performance on Bourbon Street before that kicked off the show? Maybe the highlight of the whole night. I mean, as far as performances go, I think not everybody would agree with that, but she was amazing. She always sings live, too. There's no track for her. She was on fire. I like people generally who stay, on tune with the national anthem. I don't like taking the national anthem, doing a whole bunch of runs that becomes like a me moment. But Jean Baptiste was stylized, localized, and energized. That was one of the great renditions of the national anthem I've ever heard. The Belichick, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, or is it fiance now? Everywhere. All weekend long, NFL honors, every red carpet. She's dragging the old man everywhere. Look at the cutouts on her. She's in the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, not just standing there. I don't know how I feel about the granddaughter. I don't know if they're engaged. I don't care, but it's just really? The 50-year age gap? Oh, my God. Reminds me of Tony Randall. Tony Randall from The Odd Couple. It's going to be another grandpa in carpool because there's no question she wants babies, and he's going to be a dad again. The first laugh for me came in the first quarter. Eugene Levy's eyebrows for Little Caesars. Okay, I needed a laugh. The giant eyebrows he has, they look like detachable eyebrows that they could actually fly off of his face. And they did. And I laughed like a hyena. Then the announcers get in there. Oh, I love that. When the game begins, the official change from the tush push, which nobody likes, to the brotherly shove when you're going for the first down and you push, the offensive line forwards. The brotherly shove much better. My view on this is that women like the word tush. They think it's cute. Men do not like the word tush. Then you had the Pringles commercial and flying mustaches all over the place. Okay. Then the boob commercial. Okay, the boob commercial was very strong. Everybody, I guess, likes boobs. We got beer commercials, and now we've got boob commercials. You're wondering, what is this? Then you find out it's for breast cancer awareness. You got me. Beautiful. You sucked me in. Send me the link. I'm going to donate. Then, let's skip ahead to halftime because the game was a complete blowout at this point. I was waiting for Kendrick Lamar. He came out. The performance was volcanic, culturally, musically. The diss track against Drake, a very big deal. People were going crazy over this. Look, it's going to require a response from Drake, right? If he can't get it done in the lawsuit or he admits defeat. Kendrick said game over at the end. Is it game over? He looks into the camera. He says, hey, Drake. And he goes ahead and does it. Jamie Foxx and his family. Jamie posted this. He loved it. They all loved it.
I hear like certified. Oh, yeah. Superstar. Hey.
Oh, yeah, the Fox House was going off singing Not Like Us with Kendrick Lamar. And on that topic, because this is a big one, please welcome the nation's foremost expert on all things Kendrick and Drake, a man whose name is mispronounced by more CNN anchors than I can count, Segun Oduolowu. I'm the only one who can say his name. Come on in here. We're going to talk. Look at this.
Look, it's been a while.
Get right here. Get right here. Segun is a great friend, and we're going to talk about everything that moved me as far as Kendrick Lamar. Right? Okay.
Can I laugh first that you said that the boob commercial sucked you in? Isn't that supposed to be the opposite?
You're so much smarter than me. Did it suck you in?
Yep. Boobs always suck me in.
Speaking of boobs, this is a man who is wearing a child's T-shirt right now.
This is a youth medium.
So jacked up.
This is a youth medium. But again, for the Super Bowl, to your point, Kendrick, it was a volcanic performance. It was great. And it highlights the two Americas. It's like you and I. We represent the two Americas. Some people got what Kendrick was doing with the subversive Uncle Sam Jackson, but Uncle Tom playing off his Django character. If people remember it, there were so many Easter eggs and subtle points that should we go through it?
But the Easter eggs and all that, this goes down to a feud between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And just, if I'm right, the basis of this feud, is it really as simple and trivial, frankly, as J. Cole, a third rapper, saying, we are the big three.
Yeah.
The big three in rap are Kendrick, Drake, and me, J. Cole, to which Kendrick says, I don't think so. I'm not part of this group. I'm my own man. To which J. Cole says, okay, this is going to be an ABC feud. A would be Kendrick, B would be Drake, and I'm going to see my way right out of it. He disappears, and then it becomes a tete-a-tete, tet for tat, Drake and Kendrick dropping diss tracks back and forth on each other until Kendrick drops the big one, Not Like Us, which goes viral. It's over 1 billion views on Spotify. Sweeps the Grammys. It's the knockout punch. He wins that whole thing. But is that what it's about, really? That's it?
Wait, first of all, why am I even
I'm
here?
not with you in the big three.
Well, no, but why am I even here? You just gave all the information. This is why black people love you, Billy, because you get hip hop. You already knew this. You don't need me as your tour guide through hip hop, but I will do it. Even though you just explained it all for the audience.
But there needs to be more in a feud than don't include me in the big three of rap. I'm my own man.
They have beef. They have beef that goes back years.
Okay, there you go.
And hip hop, for anyone who does not know, hip hop has always been rooted in the battle, right? Like, I'm better than you, you're better than me. Let's rap and see who's better. They've always had a competition, but Kendrick views himself, rightly so, as a Picasso. I make art. I'm not in this Andy Warhol pop, whatever Drake is doing, certified lover boy. I am from Compton. This is my culture. This is how I grew up. This is my music. You are a Canadian interloper
who was on Nickelodeon back in the day.
Doing
Don't hate on
Degrassi.
that.
Hey, Degrassi.
Selena Gomez. They're all Disney kids. Give them a break.
But Kendrick is not. And so they've always had beef. I don't necessarily respect what you do, Drake, with your style of music. That's not hip hop to me. When J. Cole and Drake got together and did their song First Person Shooter and said, there's a big three, Kendrick comes back and says, there is no big three. There's just big me. I'm the one winning Pulitzers. I'm the one who's critically acclaimed. I'm the one who's winning Grammys. You can keep all of your fame. I don't want that. And then they get into a beef. Drake threw a little bait out.
So Drake fires first after he says, I'm out. Because Kendrick doesn't say, I'm out, and fire the first shot. He just says, I'm out.
J. Cole backed out of it and was like, okay, you guys really don't like each other. Let me back out of this. Let these two elephants bash each other's heads and let's see what happens. And we got great music out of it. Drake battles, and he's always battled rappers. He just barked up a tree that fell on him, and that tree was Kendrick Lamar, right? Kendrick is, I'm a better rapper than you, and I'm going to show you. And in songs, I want all your audience to go listen to Euphoria, where Kendrick says, do not take it there. If you take it there, I'm going to take it further. Let's just keep this about music. Don't talk about my family.
So Drake was the first to get personal.
Drake was the first to get personal. And the minute he did that, again, in the song Euphoria, Kendrick says, Don't tell lies about me.
What's the worst thing he said about Kendrick and his
Oh my
family?
gosh, he called Kendrick a domestic violence abuser. He said that Kendrick's child is not really Kendrick's biological child, that it's really
All right.
his best friend's
Drake
son.
started this.
Drake started this. And as soon as he did, Kendrick was like, okay, look, man, keep making me dance and wave my hands with your poppy music. I'm not going to get at you. We'll keep it music. But the moment that Drake went there, Kendrick was like, okay, cool. Welcome into Not Like Us. You are an interloper to our culture. You are from Canada. You are a colonizer, right? And and the whole third verse of Not Like Us is how Drake, just like colonizers used to come to Atlanta and use black people for culture, is not like this, not like what we're doing here, not like that.
No,
not like
this is
that.
blending.
This is blending. This is the swirl that America needs, right? This is what that
Don't
needs.
get into that. I'll tell you what. Nene Leakes once told me from the Real Housewives of Atlanta that I needed a swirl, and I said, "Well, what's that?" She said, "Oh, come on.
You need a good black woman.
Yeah.
You do. You need a good black woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you know I haven't had one?
But how do I know?
Show me some
I've known you
respect.
for almost 20 years.
Show me some respect, please.
You need to know. Oh, anyway, we've gone completely
We
far
digress.
afield. But really, what Not Like Us is about, it's a diss record that has grown to the level of a Grammy award-winning diss record. And in hip hop, you saw Biggie versus Tupac. We've seen Jay-Z versus Nas, but we've never seen on a stage as big as the Super Bowl the expert trolling of Kendrick wearing an A minor pendant, diamond pendant, right up there in front.
Emphasis on the minor part. This is where Kendrick
minor.
says, you can say stuff about my family, but you're a pedophile.
Yes,
he
you like
calls him
young
a
girls.
pedophile. Is there evidence of Drake hooking up with women that are under the age of 18 or wherever in a state where consent is lower?
I will say that because Drake likes to sue, I can neither confirm nor deny that Drake has been with underage girls. I do not want to step into that. Like Kendrick said on the Super Bowl, he likes to sue, right? He's suing Universal Music Group. He's suing anybody and everybody around this song.
Well, Universal Music Group, first of all, is in the middle of both. They represent both artists, Kendrick and Drake. They must, when there's so much money on the line,
Loving it.
They must have calculated that these lawsuits are going to cancel each other out or we're going to be okay. Because if I'm Drake and someone accuses me of pedophilia, which is disgusting, I'm coming at him with everything I got.
Well, there are people in Drake's camp that have people that are close to Drake that have charges against them as sex offenders. And that's part of why.
Okay, that's the camp. But I mean, don't you think he should just be suing, for defamation and for being called a pedophile and nothing else, right?
Well, see, but this is part of what Kendrick is saying about the whole "you are not of this culture." This is Karen behavior. This is like, why are those black kids selling lemonade on our sidewalk? And this is the Karen of it all. And that's what they've always accused Drake of being. When have we ever seen in hip hop anyone sue over a diss record? No one's ever done that. You started a fight. The fight got out of hand to your account.
So you're saying Drake is wrong. Drake is wrong for overreacting and trying to get all litigious on that.
Dead wrong.
You don't see,
Dead wrong by the rules of hip hop. Dead wrong
right,
by the
I look
way
at
of
Diddy and 50 Cent. 50 Cent trolls Diddy
All
like
the time.
you wouldn't believe. Diddy's got a lot more problems now, but before he had these problems,
yeah.
he just ignored 50.
Jay-Z and Nas went back and forth in a beef where Jay-Z said, "I slept with your baby's mom."
Woo!
Okay? They go back and forth where Nas calls Jay-Z a whole bunch of other things, and it's hip hop. It's a battle. It goes all the way back to the core of the music. But if I pick a fight with you and you're beating my brains in, do I get to then say, well, Billy, it's not fair that Billy beat me up. I should never have picked a fight with a better fighter. And that's what we saw. We're seeing in real time Kendrick Lamar at the end of it saying, game over. I won this. This is done. I just gave one of the best Super Bowl performances for our culture. And that's what everyone is talking about. They're talking about all of the little aspects of how black and how in your face it was, about Sam Jackson, about the Be Humble American flag during Black History Month with the commander-in-chief at the game. He does an American flag of black people and he's in the middle saying, be humble. Everything that Kendrick represented in that performance is to almost say to Drake, this is not you. You can't do this. You make that pop music, go dance. But when we do this, I'm going to bring Serena Williams out to Crip Walk.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Serena Williams comes out. She's an ex-girlfriend of Drake. Mm-hmm. All right, she does the Crip Walk. Boy, But does she look different?
She looked fantastic. Oh my God.
What's going on? Right, it's a very different situation. That's another thing.
Yeah,
right
that was. Look, Serena looked like she might want to play tennis again. She looked fantastic.
Whoa! I actually didn't know it was her. I just said, "Wow, look at that girl. She's gorgeous." Whoa!
She looked great. But Drake didn't just date her. He trolled Serena and her husband. He would go online and make disparaging comments about Serena Williams' husband. Again, this is the husband and father of her child. Drake is very petty. He's a petty person. What happens is he just met someone who's pettier and better at it.
So, but SZA also, an ex-girlfriend of Drake's.
Yep.
She's up there with Kendrick Lamar. So it seems to me like it was 3-on-1 right there.
Well, but no, it's not really. If we want to say
Jamie Foxx's, we showed the video of Jamie Foxx's family reacting to Not Like Us, and they were down with it. They were down with the shots and the barbs and the attacking of Drake. Do you think most predominantly black living rooms were exactly the same?
I'll do you one better. The Grammys, a room full of Drake's peers were doing A minor when Kendrick won those awards. Taylor Swift was dancing and saying A minor. It wasn't just black people. Now, yes, black room, we were all singing the song because we love the song. But I think by and large, a music industry is on the side of Kendrick. You saw at the Grammys how, as Kendrick is winning, they are singing. Blue Ivy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, they're dancing. As I said, Taylor Swift is dancing. All of his peers in the music industry are in a room dancing to a song that is calling him a pedophile, that is dissing him. It tells you where Drake is right now or how he's thought of in the music industry. Kendrick pulled the curtain back and said, if this is your king, then the emperor has no clothes.
Journalist, raconteur, commenter, very smart man, Segun Oduolowu is with me right here in studio. Now, what I'm interested in is, we see Sam Jackson dressed as Uncle Sam and the whole thing. Is this, the whole performance by Kendrick, was it more about the feud with Drake and, you're out, you're not really one of us, okay, or was it some type of statement against the country and the vote and Trump and feeling marginalized by the vote, even though Trump had more black votes than any president before him?
It was both. It was both, and it can be both, because Kendrick has called Trump, a chump and stuff in rap and in lyrics. So Kendrick's love for Trump is it's not there.
And I pointed out to you on text that Trump is name-checked in at least 63 rap songs. He's aspirational. There's plenty of songs that are like, yo, I want the gold plane, I want the this and that. I want to roll like Trump.
But that's not hip-hop. That's an aspect of hip-hop. So
50 Cent loves Trump because he trolls like 50. They have street cred together.
Okay.
Does it bother you that black people more now like Trump than they ever have before?
I would say that a section, listen, there are a section of Latinos that voted for Trump that are finding out the hard way that might not have been the best move. So it doesn't matter necessarily how you felt.
It's
how
week to week, it's day to day, it's hour to hour. I still don't know what he did today.
It's how you feel now. With the Kendrick part of it, he's not a Trump fan. It's Black History Month. You're at the Super Bowl. You want to show Drake that you are not like us. So you do everything that shows just what a culture can look like and feel when it shows itself. From the car to the pendant to the historical references. Black people are not like a monolith. You can't compare Louis Armstrong jazz to Kenny G jazz, even though we'll both say that they're jazz. They're very, very different. Coltrane is not, Brubeck and a quartet. They're different, and hip hop is the same way. You have a section of hip hop that is very flashy, that Diddy made popular with Versace and going after wealth, which Trump represented, and a lot of hip hop that was after that kind of wealth and status loved Trump. But you also have Public Enemy and Outkast and artists that's not what they're into. And Kendrick is one of those artists where I'm not in it for the fame. I'm in it for the art form and the culture. And he used that stage to be about the art form and the culture. And when art, as you know, is subversive, because we've talked film before and certain movies that we like that are subversive and use imagery, that's what Kendrick did. He used art and imagery to be subversive, to poke holes at Drake, but to also say, even to Trump and the viewing audience, that's not like us. Like, we aren't just this thing that you can categorize and put into a clean little box.
Exactly.
isn't.
Well, there's nothing I hate more than women feel blah, 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 blah.
Etc.
Or, black people now believe, cut the monolith out everywhere. But I also think that's one of the things that Trump capitalized on is there are people who love to keep us in compartments. They like to keep us divided. Maybe it benefits them in some way. But I think maybe the one possible good thing about Trump is he's just a bully to everybody. He doesn't care about the compartments.
And there are people that admire bullies.
He should have tweeted out, Kendrick, my man Kendrick, put it down today. That was my favorite performance. Mic drop, I'm out. People have been like, what?
Oh no, and I'm surprised, and he's probably going to be.
He's too focused on Taylor Swift.
He's too focused on a lot. But I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, we in society shouldn't necessarily be friends. Segun Oduolowu and Billy Bush, we come from such disparate places that maybe we shouldn't be friends or be colleagues or work together or have a almost 20-year history of friendship. People don't see things the way they are. They see things the way they want them to be. And boxes make it easy to understand this blackness. Boxes make it easy to understand this rich white guy stuff. Boxes make it easy to...
I'm not that rich, man. They fired me and I was trending. I was going to be rich.
Yeah, you didn't lose the money.
And then they fired me like a dog.
You didn't lose the money, Billy.
You wouldn't believe it.
You didn't lose the money. Look at you. You're so clean. And this shirt costs more than most people's cars.
This shirt is theory. This shirt is theory. We agree Jean-Baptiste was unbelievable.
Ooh.
Segun.
So that was the one where I was listening. I was
you didn't like him?
Listen, multiple Grammy Award winner. I love Jean-Baptiste. That rendition of the Star Spangled Banner was, first of all, it wasn't the best that I've heard.
What?
I can give you two off the top of my head. Whitney Houston.
So good. Well, of course. Well, I'm not going there.
Marvin Gaye.
But we're talking about New Orleans native. We're talking about localized and specialized and energized.
But it didn't really sound like New Orleans. Like the stuff that led up to it sounded like New Orleans. Trombone Shorty.
Trombone.
Even Harry Connick Jr. Like that with the Zydeco sound.
Who's
that sounded like New Orleans.
Jean-Baptiste today?
I'm not hating. I love Jean-Baptiste.
Say no to hate. You didn't see what you weren't paying attention to Tom Brady and Snoop together talking about no hate. We're against hate. Who is for hate?
No, I'm not hating. I said I love Jean-Baptiste. I did not like. See,
I'm just saying. Do we need when you do a hate thing? When you do an anti-hate PSA, don't you got to get specific about what hate? No one stands up and says, "Oh, well, wait a minute, I like hate." No one does it. You got to get. We've had different waves of hate. What hate are you two talking about? They don't hate money. Those guys.
No, not especially not Snoop after he performed at the crypto concert.
That's
Oh, you want to go? Should we go in there?
No, he said whichever one of you. He called out. He said whichever one of you from our community who shows up for Trump first, to hell with you. And who was the first? Snoop himself.
Right. Listen, Snoop has taken to a lot of people. Snoop has taken a lot of his cachet that he has earned, and he is a pillar in rap. But he has sold a lot of that for a check. When he is at the Olympics as looking like a lawn jockey, when he is selling everything and anything that he can get his hands on. And again, I grew up on Snoop Dogg's music. But what he's doing now feels against the culture. Look,
it all started with Martha. Once you get with Martha, that's it.
I don't even mind the Martha stuff because that was kind of cool and counterculture and subversive. But listen, we call a sellout when you see somebody selling out. Make your money, man. Just don't build a platform where you're going to call other people sellouts if they perform. And the first time you get a check, you're right there at the thing going, gin and juice. Nah, you sip too much of that gin and juice.
We got to talk about our guy, Segun Oduolowu, who's with me right now, longtime friend, and one of the brightest, smartest guys I know, as you can hear. Let's talk about Kanye for a second, and not long, because honestly,
please not.
He strikes again. He's been quiet since the bizarro sort of anti-Semitic outburst of 2022, but back with a vengeance. Since Friday, normalized Hitler, called himself a Nazi. David Schwimmer from Friends publicly lobbied Elon to shut down Kanye's account for fear it would instigate real violence against Jews, which I think is not a stretch. Then Kanye posted porn. I guess that's where Elon drew the line. X labeled his account NSFW, but then Kanye deactivated the whole thing before thanking Elon for the freedom to rant. I got to say, if a Jewish guy went on a rant like that about black people, he would not be around right now. I mean, if saying,
I don't know. I don't know if we can make that statement. What I will say about Kanye, what makes it the most offensive, the language that he's using, the anti-Semitism is disgusting and it's vile. But
he's sick.
But regardless of sick, he's also black. And when you say black, when you tell black people that slavery was a choice, or you tell the world that slavery was a choice, then whatever music you put out, I'm done.
He's not like us.
Like, I'm done with Kanye. Yeah, but that's the key, Billy. Why, even David Schumer, why are we looking for a rapper who hasn't been relevant really with good music for quite some time as to be the voice of reason? He's never been reasonable. He had his wife naked on the red carpet at the Grammys trying to gain attention, and the rants and stuff that he's doing on Twitter, it's ugly, it's wrong, but it doesn't represent black people. It represents Kanye, and Kanye is an individual figure. Just like I wouldn't hold the horrors and ills that white people might do against black people and say, well, Billy Bush, you're white, so you must co-sign everything that some stupid celebrity or whatever might do. They paint black people with that brush, and they try to box us in again and say, well, he's black, he does hip-hop music, allegedly. I don't really call what he does hip-hop anymore. He does this type of music, so the community must vouch for him, or the community must understand him. And we've distanced ourselves. I think the world should distance itself from Kanye. His own family has distanced himself from Kanye.
How his commercial made it on Fox, and it didn't make it on nationally, but certainly in Los Angeles, and it might have been a few other markets where he bought a commercial for whatever the price was, huge, and it was just him sitting in a dentist chair, on Instagram. There it is. It's up on our screen. But, at this point, he's now selling swastika T-shirts on his website. So, in October of 2022, when he first went on his anti-Semitic rant, I reached out. I was like, wow, this is like major news. I reached out to him. I got his text. He's texting with me. I go down to interview him. He says, come on down. I bring a whole crew. I go down. There I am sitting with Kanye in his factory where he, does all of his clothing. And, it occurs to me in the middle of this interview, he's not well. First of all, he smells terrible, like he hasn't showered in a while, like he might have a mental illness kind of thing that's keeping him from, just the regular hygiene and stuff. And I started thinking, this guy is not well. He's off meds. He didn't seem right to me. I took it back. I sort of censored myself. The company was like, I don't know if we should do this. It's Warner Brothers. And I said, I frankly don't feel good about putting something out from a sick person.
See, but that's integrity that you have that I wish more people in our industry did. You interviewed him, you saw something that wasn't right, and you said, This is
exploitive.
I can't put this out there.
Yeah.
This is a father of children. This is why are we allowing this person to spiral in real time and watching it and then scrutinizing everything he says? If we care, if Kanye means something to anyone, then get him help. But what I would really love is for people to stop listening to the madness and trying to find reason. So he says this thing, it's like, is he anti-Semitic? Is he sick? Is he whatever? If you stop listening to him, and maybe to what you did, I'm not going to air this nonsense anymore, and I'm just going to try and help the dude. Let's try and help him. And if he doesn't seek help, then let's just back away slowly from this car crash. But we should stop taking pictures of it and trying to figure out, wait, did they cross the intersection too fast? Like, what happened? This dude is saying and doing stuff that does not make sense. You cannot stand and just start swinging wildly and saying, black people, you guys are fake if you don't support Diddy, and I'm anti-Semitic, and it's just nonsense. And he does not represent black people. He does not represent hip hop. He represents himself. And right now, what we're looking at doesn't make sense. So let's stop looking at it.
Boom. Segun, thank you, my friend. As always, look at the size of these guns. If you could just see this man in here, the biceps are massive, the chest is massive.
This is how I keep America off my back, by pressing and by pressing America off my back.
I'm not done talking about Trump and Taylor Swift and his fight with her. And we've got, by the way, the latest on the Baldoni and Blake Lively war. I am so glued to this thing, I can't believe it. We'll take a quick 60-second break on TuneIn, and we will be right back on Hot Mics.